Let's take a look at another example of finding the equation for the line of best fit, i.e. doing linear regression. All right, so here's the data we have. The following table shows a company's advertising expenditures in thousands of dollars for January to June of 2015, and their sales, also in thousands of dollars, for the same months. We're supposed to come up with the equation of the regression line in slope-intercept form without any rounding. So we take all the digits that the calculator gives us. All right, so first I'm going to remind you how we can enter that data. So we press the Stat button and edit. I have some previous data in there. So I go to the top of the column, the very top where it says L1, and press clear, and then enter. And now I'm putting in the data for how much was spent in advertising in thousands of dollars. And then I'm going to take a moment to do a double check. And then I will scroll to the right, press the right button, and enter in their sales in thousands of dollars, followed by a double check. And then once it is all in there, how do we get the slope and the y-coordinate of the y-intercept to show up? We'll see that in a moment. Press Stat again, and then go over to Calc and choose choice 4. Tell it that it's in list 1 for the x values, list 2 for the y values. And if you want to store the equation, then you could, if we back up a little bit here, on the line here in the menu, store regression equation, going to press vars, then go over to y vars, and I'm going to put it in y1. So here's one way to get it to give you the slope and the y-coordinate of the y-intercept, and then you could plug that in here. By the way, if you have an older calculator, I want you to notice this real quick. In the home screen, it's showing us what things look like. It went away real quick. Let me try to get that to show up. So you may not get that menu to show up. What you would need to do is in the home screen, you would have the lin reg, and then you would have to press second and 1, and then comma above the 7, second and 2 to get list 2, comma, and then follow the same steps that I did to get y1 in there. Now there's another option that I'm going to show before we go to the second part. We can press y equals, and it may even go more decimal places this way, but you could see that it gave us the equation of the line. Furthermore, if you want to see a plot of the 6 data points and that best fitting line, then make sure that first you have, when you go to second and y equals, turn on a stat plot. I'm going to put it in the first one, turn it on, and notice how the first option there is of a scatter plot. That's already selected. You may need to change that if you've used stat plots before. You could scroll down to it and select the one you want. And If it's been used before and you've used other lists, then you would want to scroll further down and, put second and one for list one, for our X list, our list of X's, and second and two to get L2 to show up in our list of Y's. Then if I press zoom and 9, or press zoom and scroll down to zoom stat, it's going to give us the scatter plot. And since I stored the equation of the regression line, it is also graphing the line within there. Now, what zoom stat did is it's going to look for the lowest and the highest X values and go very close around that. So roughly 5.5 to 6.3. And similarly for the Y values, roughly 100 to 121. Now, since you have the equation, you could just put in the second part, they want to spend $6,500 in advertising in July and predict their sales. So since 6,500, whereas the advertising dollars were in thousands of dollars here, we need to take X to be 6.5, and you can plug that in and calculate. And then remember that the sales were also in thousands of dollars. So after some rounding there, we're getting $125,686.75. Well, there are two options where we don't even have to do that arithmetic. One is press window, and notice how originally the largest X value was only going to 6.38. I'm going to change that, going a little bit beyond 6.5, and then graph it again. I'm going to choose trace, and I might need to use the up and down arrows. Notice right now, it was originally on a trace of the scatter plot where you see L1 colon L2 up there. So I went down, the down arrow. Now I'm on the line, and I can type in 6.5 for X, and it's giving the, we have to convert that 125.6 something. It's not going as far in that case, but convert that to thousands of dollars, we will get, even with that rounding, the same answer. The other option is to press bars again over to Y bars and Y1, and then a parenthesis, 6.5, and close the parentheses after that. Again, remember that that was in thousands of dollars, so I multiply by 1,000 and do the rounding because we're talking about money. Hope that helps.